Welcome to Scootering to Greece, Part 1, UK to Italy, or in other words, more of them later. So it's day one and I'm on the ferry, as you can see. So not much to report, quick schlep down the A1, and rather than do all the usual ferry stuff, what I'm going to do is just give you a slice of ferry life, and I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, so it's first thing in the morning and we're about 2 hours away from the port of Amsterdam, so it's time for a breakfast. Fruit salad, coffee and croissant. What could be better? So the plan today, once we disembark, is to head over to Luxembourg. So that's around 360 miles, so it should take me, probably about 5-6 hours, something like that. And I'm really looking forward to going to Luxembourg because it has some of the finest tarmac in Europe. It's just brilliant. Right, I'm going to eat my grape and then I'm going to get going. I tell you what, I do like a nice Dutch service station. I mean, you get very strange sweets, you get unpronounceable biscuits, and you get hardcore porn at eye level. I mean, what could be better? Right, let's try a sweet. God, boy, horrible. I pulled the filling out. That's the stickiest thing ever. So funnily enough, after that sweet break, I really got the taste for those and I kept scoffing them. And then I think it was it Stuart that said eating too much licorice can cause rather too many problems. Anyway, moving on, I'm now in Luxembourg. And as I mentioned earlier, I think it's got some of the best tarmac in the world. I mean, look at this. It's absolutely gorgeous, really, really grippy. Anyway, at the moment I'm heading towards Vianden, and that's the castle that you can see up ahead. And Vianden is a lovely town. It's on the Our River. Obviously it's got the fabulous castle and there's a lovely old church. I think it's got something to do with Victor Hugo as well, as you can see by the hotel on the left. And there's a chairlift that takes you up to the castle as well, and there's really nice walks along the river. Now, I should really have stayed in Vianden, but you know how it is, I decided to press on and then it started to absolutely hoon it down. So I ended up just finding anywhere random and I ended up in a place called Wollendorf Pont. I mean, it's right on the border of Luxembourg and Germany. The hotel was great, but I didn't really get any footage because it was absolutely throwing it down. So anyway, on to day 3. Well, it's the end of day 3 and I'm currently at the bottom of the Furka pass. Now you may remember, like last year, I wanted to go up the Furka pass, but there was like too much snow and it was like really bad, and impassable and stuff. So yes, you find me at the bottom of the Furka pass, and what a glorious day it's been. I mean, just look at it, it's absolutely beautiful. Now, one of the things I wanted to talk about was, somebody was asking me, why do I like doing these road trips? Well, there's obviously the scenery, the destinations and all that stuff, but I think, probably a couple of other things. It's just, I love being on the road. I love the focus that it gives you, and I love that feeling of being like semi-itinerant, with no home, or you're looking for a place to stay. It's not quite, Jack Kerouac style, hobo hitching a lift on trains and stuff, but I love that semi-itinerant feel. And then secondly, the thing that I really like is, while the destinations are great, like this, I mean, it's just incredible. What I also really like is, the beauty in the small things and the small happenings and occurrences that happen, when you're on holiday, and that's anything from, just like a few moments of, like personal human kindness, or it's just seeing people, going through some lovely pristine village, seeing people putting the washing out, and getting that sense of a community in a place where you don't live. I just love that, that beauty in the small things. And yes, and I do like those, those one-off encounters as well, and I think, what's the truism, is it Shakespeare, that it's always better to travel hopefully than to arrive, and that for me is absolutely true. And something really good always happens to me when I'm on holiday. I mean, I met the second wife while I was on holiday. Can't do better than that, can you? But I was thinking of one of my other kind of memories, and it's I don't really do nostalgia, but I had a bout of it this afternoon on the ADV350. I was coming through a place and I recognised the name, and I haven't been there for ages, and there's a little tiny mountain pass and stuff, and then I had this distinct vivid memory of me riding that road like 30 years ago, you know, like in the late 1980s on a VFR 750, and I saw myself, I heard myself going up this road, and it wasn't, as again, it wasn't nostalgia, but it was just a really nice, beautiful, unexpected, extremely vivid moment that I just really enjoyed. And then likewise, when I was coming through France, I remember this time I was coming through France, going through these trees. It was a beautiful autumnal day. Stop me if I'm boring you. And I stopped off at this petrol station and filled up with petrol, and it was the time where they used to have attended services in France. And I remember going into the kiosk just to make sure that it was okay, and spoke to the lady behind the kiosk, and she was wearing this, I don't know, she was about mid-30s, brown hair, pinned up, you know, quite attractive and young and lovely. Well, young now, you know, because I'm like 58. And she was wearing a blue dress with like yellow flowers all over it, you know, and I said something to her, and she said to me, "Oh, you're English." And she had like a really cut glass, crystal educated English accent, and I was like taken aback, and I was like, wow, what's an English lady doing in the middle of nowhere in France? You know, she just sort of smiled at me. And anyway, I went out to fill for the petrol and get a bottle of water, and she came out and said it's on the house, and said it was just great to practice her English. I mean, it was brilliant, fleeting encounter, you know, 5 minutes, but it came back to me so vividly. Yeah, so that's what I really like about travelling, you know, as well as all this stuff, you know, like mountains and roads and other things and stuff. Right, you're in for a treat now, and I'm going to show you the plywood bathroom. Check this out. Look at that. What a thing of absolute beauty. I mean, I can't work out whether it's meant to be like this or it's just sort of not finished yet. I mean, look at it. Quality plywood, that. Looks like somebody's cut their head there. And that's the thing about a plywood bathroom is, you know, you've got to worry about splinters when you're using the appliances, haven't you? Really? I mean, can you imagine? Crikey. I mean, look at the finish. Lovely that, isn't it? Quality. Proper quality. And we've even got a plywood floor. So tomorrow I'm off to Italy. So I'm going over the Gotthard Pass and then heading to a place called Brisighella, which is in Emilia-Romagna. Really beautiful place. And from there I'm going to Ancona. But yeah, it's been a really good day. Really good day's riding. I think in total I've done about 500 miles so far, and I've gone through, let me see how many countries. I think it's 6 countries. So the Netherlands, Belgium, Luxembourg, Germany, France and Switzerland. Yeah, so six countries in just under 600 miles. How good is that? Right, God, I'm nearly belched then. So I think that's it for now, and I'll see you in a bit. Well, after a fabulous night's sleep, I then hit the Gotthard Pass. Now, there's no GoPro footage because a phalanx of motorhomes came in front of me and it all looked a bit boring. Anyway, so then after this, I hit the motorway to get south of Milan, and then I turned off the motorway just outside Bologna and went to the fabulous little village of Dozza, which is famous for its painted walls, and we're just flying through it at the moment. I would have loved to have stopped, but it was like 32 degrees. I was absolutely roasting, and you can only park outside of the village, but you are allowed to ride round. Anyway, hope you get a good idea of what it's like, and also it does really good focaccia in the bakery. Anyway, so after Dozza, it was just a short run over to my next stop. Now, as you can probably tell, I'm not in Berwick-upon-Tweed, and that's mainly because it's about 7:30 at night, and you know, I've got my sleeves rolled up and it's like really warm and beautiful. So I am in fact in the small Italian town or large village of Brisighella, which is kind of just outside, I can't remember where it's just outside Imola, the racetrack. That's it, because I went through that today. What's been really nice is coming through Bologna, you start to recognise all these names. You know, obviously Bologna is the home of Ducati, but then, you know, like signposts for Borgo Panigale, and, you know, and Imola and Firenze and Modena, and they're all kind of iconic, aren't they, in terms of, you know, like engineering and motor racing and motor cars and motorbikes. So even though I've been on the motorway, it's, you know, I've still really enjoyed it. So tomorrow I don't have to be up too early, and then I'm heading over to Ancona, which is about 120 miles away. Okay, well, it's day 5 and it's Friday, September the 5th, so it's first thing in the morning and I'm still in Brisighella, but I'm really excited this morning because I'm going to be heading over to Ancona to catch the ferry. So Ancona is about 2 hours away from here, so it's about 120 miles or so, and then it's an overnight ferry over to Greece. So I'm super duper excited, I can't say. And so far, after about 5 days and just over 1,000 miles, there's been no drama, no crisis and no clickbait, although I nearly lost my favourite green pen. Oh, listen to those bells. Now normally, and that's actually very good timing, now normally I wake in Berwick, you know, to the sound of seagulls shagging on my roof and screaming and fighting and stuff, and it's not very pleasant. But I woke this morning to the sound of bells, and just have a listen to these, they're so musical. Right, well I'm well on my way to Ancona now, and then I park up at the motorway services, miles away from anywhere, so the scooter doesn't get scratched. And look what happens. Still, cool people always want to be associated to scooters. Okay, well here we are at the Ancona ferry terminal, and very glamorous it is as well. So I'm all checked in, being given some mysterious instructions, which I'm not quite sure what to do, but you know, they'll all come out in the wash, won't they? And there's the mighty ADV, complete with an Iguminitsa sticker on it. I mean, how good is that? Not sure what else to say. It's about 31 degrees. I'll be heading off to embark in a tick. I'll go and have a look and see what these bikes are. So some Swiss motorcycles over here. Touratech, what's that? Oh, it's a Bandit 1250 unfaired one. Cool, good, like that. What's this one? The BMW, yes. The BMW Frisch St. Gallen. Very nice. Not like they know what they're doing, these chaps. Whereas I, on the other hand, you know, just sort of wing it. But anyway, not to worry. So yes, that was a quick tour around the delightful, glamorous Ancona ferries terminal. Actually, it takes me back this place because I'm sure I was sat here for about 5 hours waiting for a ferry. So yeah, brings back certain memories. I'm not sure if they're all good, but oh, look at that, that's nice. Very nice. What is it? Fucking up. Lovely. What else can I say? I don't think I can think of anything else to say. Right, so as it's super hot, I'm going to jump on the bike and go and get on the Ancona to Iguminitsa ferry. And I will see you on the other side of the Adriatic. Cheery bye. I mean, it doesn't get more exciting than this, does it? Sat on the dock of a bay, a sweltering Ancona, loads of stuff going on, and a big red boat. Look at that, that's what I'm getting on the super fast for. Looks fast, doesn't it? And then there's something a bit more swanky around there. So yeah, there we go. I'm incredibly excited. I feel like I'm 21 years old riding an XR600 again. Brilliant. Love it. Absolutely love it. And there's the mighty ADV. What can I say? Looking cool in the 31 degree sunshine. Well, I have to say I'm extremely excited, and apologies for the microphone on this one because there's lots of stuff going on around me. I am so excited. I feel as though I've been waiting for this trip like forever, and yeah, I mean, just, you know, it's just brilliant. Anyway, I'm on one of the upper decks of the ferry from Ancona over to Iguminitsa, and you're looking at Ancona at the moment, and I think we're just about to leave. I can confirm that there is gassy yellow beer on board, there are cheese pies, there are donuts, and there's all manner of other things that I'm probably not going to eat. But you know what, it's not bad. It's yeah, it's alright, but I mean, you know, I'm just can't wait to get to Greece. Okay, so I'm on board a super fast ferry, and if you've ever wondered what they're like, well, here we go. So here's one of the corridors. It looks like something out of The Shining. Well, let's go into my room, and actually I'm really quite pleasantly surprised. Now, I booked this one super early, so I booked it as soon as the itineraries and the timetables became available. So I think I got 20% off, so in total it was around €310, so €31 for the bike. and 281 for the bike. Sorry, I got that wrong. That was 30 for the bike and 281 for the cabin. Anyway, you know what I mean. So it was about €310 in total. Now I don't know whether it's because I booked it super early or not, but the cabin is really large. It's really big. So as we walk forward, there we go, got the bunks. 2 single beds. Nice fridge down there. Now, if you're wondering what the towel is doing on the floor, it's not just me being like a lazy slob, because what I did was, what it actually is because there was nothing in the fridge, I unplugged it, you know, so I could charge all my accessories, you know, using that socket there. So I unplugged it, went out for an hour, came back and there was water all over the floor. Oh, hold on, I think there might be an announcement. Anyway, so if you are in a super fast ferry, do not unplug the fridge, because you're going to end up with a load of water on the floor. But yeah, and look at that, I've got a porthole. Oh, hang on, here's an announcement.
Κυρίες και κύριοι, σας πληροφορούμε ότι το εστιατόριο και το self-service είναι ανοιχτά. Καλή σας όρεξη. Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to inform you that the a la carte as well as the self-service restaurant are now open. Enjoy your meal.
So there we go. I was going to talk about the food, and also, as you can hear, all of the announcements are in like a million different languages, including English, so you know what's going on. Yeah, so the food's pretty good. There's an a la carte restaurant, there's like a normal restaurant, and there's like a kind of cafe bistro bar as well, where I had a very nice cheese and spinach pie and a glass of beer. And actually the beer selection's not so bad. You know, if you get away from the on deck outside ones and you go to some of the inside ones, there's some really nice beer actually. So yeah, I'm quite impressed with the cabin, to be honest. So what else have we got? I mean, I promised never ever to show you the bathroom, but anyway, here we go. Here's the bathroom. Look at that. It's alright, isn't it? Shower. Brilliant. Got everything you need. So yeah, I'm pretty impressed actually, and they're a lot better than I remember them, you know, like a million years ago when I was interrailing. So yeah, super fast ferries, can recommend them actually. Really, really good. Book early, get 20% off. So we'll have a quick walk around the ferry so you can see what it's like, and we'll also have a look at some Greek TV, you know, where there seems to be lots of people that look like Borat kicking around. Don't know what these two guys are up to. You know, and lots of quiz shows and stuff. There you go, nice tash. And yeah, so yeah, super fast ferries, recommended. Well, what an absolutely fabulous day, and I'm so excited to be on the super fast 4 ferry heading to Greece. Anyway, so we'll end the day, quite rightly, with a rather beautiful sunset and possibly a bit of romance going on. Oh, and there's also a rather lovely full moon. Right, that's the end of video 1. Hope you've enjoyed it, and I will see you in Greece. See you in a minute.
Did my name on that?
I did!